are so happy. Home Depot Debbie back with us in person. She's got a fun little set here, and we are talking about something that is kind of an issue for anybody who wants to go to bed a little bit early, aka morning people.
Right.
Is you want to go to sleep, but the light's coming in the room, and so you're helping us kind of figure out the blackout curtain situation.
For sure. And in addition to that, it helps with the heat. So we have a twofold reason for blacking out the windows, and it can add to your decor as well. So there are blackout options that are pretty, which is a triple bonus, right? So there's many different things, and what you want to look out for on packages when you're looking to buy blackout window treatments is there's blackout, there's room darkening, which you think would be blackout but is not, and then there's light filtering, which obviously lets the light in. So you want to make sure when you are picking something out that you pick out anything that says blackout on it. As you can see here, this one is room darkening and this one is light filtering, and so of course pick the blackout option.
And there's a difference because when you look at it here, like, oh, it looks, you know, similar.
There is. And in terms of draperies, just so you can see, this is light filtering, this is a sheer, which lets all the light in, and this is room darkening. And just to do a test, you can see here, you can see the flashlight clearly behind that. Obviously the sheer, definitely. But the room darkening, there is no light coming through at all. So you know when you put up a blackout option, you are going to definitely not have any light. And you want to make sure that you pick the right one that's going to go all the way past your windows so that light doesn't even peek through the sides as well. So one other option we have here, this is your 2.5-inch faux wood blind, and these are all going to be in stock options, but we also have a plethora of stuff online at homedepot.com. So these are cordless, right? And you pull them down like so, and once you have it all the way down, to make it room darkening, you just tilt it. Now, one little trick is most people tilt this way, but then some light can go in between, but we want to tilt it going up. That's going to give it more room darkening option. And also, if you can look at these slats, Bobby, real quick, most blinds have holes in the middle where the strings go through. To get it extreme room darkening, you get the ones with no holes. So for blinds, you want to get no holes, you want to tilt them up, and you want to measure properly, which we'll talk about in the next segment.
Tilt up, that's good for anybody, even if you don't have the best blinds.
They close a little
bit better.
They close a little tighter, exactly. This is called a cellular shade, honeycomb shade, many different things. They're all cordless.
Oh, that's nice.
So you just pull it down, and again, you can see here, if we put the flashlight into it, you can't see any light. So that makes it, again, room darkening. And these have a lining inside that also makes it nice and insulating for heat as well. So these are really nice. Now we also have the old school roller shade, and there's different types of roller shades. This is the retractable one, you know, pull down, it lifts up. And again, room darkening, no light will come through this. This is the old school white vinyl. This can go behind if you have a deep enough casing. A lot of different window treatments that aren't too thick, but also they come now in you know, a lot of different colors and patterns. We can order a lot of them. These are in stock in gray, but there are nice room darkening roller shades that are simple and affordable, and you know, will block out the light for sure. So draperies, cellular shades, blinds. There's also, real quick, this is the old temporary shade. Now, they used to come only in white, 3-foot and 4-foot. Now they come in blackout, in black, and this is just paper that you peel off and stick up in your window casing for a temporary solution. So this is something you just move in, or over the summer, you just need extra protection. These blackout paper shades will stick up behind any window covering that you have and make it blackout. You know, they're paper, so they don't last forever. Listen, I've had people that come back in years, and then
for a couple
they
years.
still have them. And this one also is really nice because if you have arches that you like to have the light come in, this one will bend in the middle and make an arch
Debbie,
shape.
I think we gotta go.
Okay, just so you can see, it will make an arch to cover those arches. I'm gonna have all this information on my Home Depot Debbie Facebook page and Instagram. Find me at the Arrowhead Ranch Home Depot. Next segment, we're talking about how to install this stuff.
Okay, we'll be right back.
To Kylie, who is back there with Debbie, hopefully giving us some solutions to our bright windows, the heat getting into our rooms. We need that help being early risers.
We certainly do. And this is the time of year, Debbie, where there is more daylight in June, I think, than any other time. There's a lot of light, and there's a lot of light, especially if you've got kind of a weird shift like us. Light comes in the room, and maybe, you know, now is the time to work on a project and put some blackout curtains or shades up. And you showed us how, and now we're going to talk install, right?
Right. We talked about the different options, blinds, cellular shades, draperies. There's so many different options that can black out the window. And like we talked about before, besides the sun coming up at 4 or 4:30 now, which wakes up, you know, small children and wakes up, and like when you guys go home, if you want to take a nap in the midday, or people that work the night shift and want to sleep during the day, this is something that's essential to help with that if you can't sleep in the light. So just to show you, this is a heat lamp and this is light. So these are the two elements that we're trying to conquer with the blackouts, right? So for blackout draperies, you're going to select a rod first, correct? So we have many rods in Home Depot, and a new type of option we have, they come in different materials, so stainless steel or brushed nickel, as you would call it. Matte black is a huge finish right now. You know, gold is really big right now as well. So, but maybe the finials, which are the pieces on the end that are decorative, you don't always have the option of different finials. So with these rods, they come with this little cap on the end, which can be all you use. Then you can unscrew this and you can change it to any finial you want. And you can see over here, there's a couple of the options. I didn't bring them all, but they have them, you know, to show you different options that you can even mix and match if you want to change it, if you get sick of it.
Just change the end,
Just
change the look a little bit.
Exactly, give you a little. And then to install it, you can see here, here's two brackets that you have. And depending on what the length of the rod is, you're going to need 2 or 3 or even 4 brackets to support the weight of the blackout draperies. Are a little heavier because they're a little thicker. Now when you're buying a rod, you can see here this one ranges from 28 to 50, then there's from 50 to 84. So you would get one rod and it will be expandable to the width that you need. So there's not one rod for every single width.
Okay.
When you're measuring, you want to measure the window and then add at least 3 inches on each side, so 6 inches total for the width, again, to cover those edges to block out the light. And then for the length as well, if you're going down to the floor, a minimum of 3 inches above the window. I like to go tall for drama, but you know, that's
So you like to go like from here, here's the window, all the way to the floor.
It's more decorative.
Yeah.
And if you,
Statement.
again, you can go close to the ceiling as well to give that drama. And also, if the window is low, it actually raises the ceiling and makes the room feel larger the taller the draperies are. So just a few little fun facts. When you're installing your brackets, you want to make sure you use a stud finder and get them into wood, again, for the weight. When you're doing blinds, which we're going to show you now, inside the window casing should be all wood, so you shouldn't need any type of anchors, but you may want to check but all window casings are wood. And for cellular shades like this one we showed, blackout cellular shade, and for the blinds that are 2 or 2.5 inch, these are very similar. Brackets that go up into the window casing at the ceiling, and my recommendation is that you bring the bracket forward so that the front of the bracket and the front of the shade are going to be even with the front of the window casing and the wall, and that makes it a clean line and very flush, and also gives you a little pocket behind the shade to the window as to not, you know, have any combustion with heat and whatnot if you have dual pane windows. And thank you for a viewer that mentioned that, so I wanted to point that out as well. Once you get your brackets in, then most of our blinds have a little groove in the front.
And I think we gotta go.
Okay, you're just gonna
10-second summary.
Angle it in and pop it back. And again, I'll have all this information on my Home Depot W Facebook page, like there, or Instagram. And you can find me at the Arrowhead Ranch Home Depot. Block it out for the summer, and you'll be cool and be asleep if you need to.
And you're going to be sleeping at the times you want to.
That's it.
Thank you, Debbie.
All
We'll
right.
be right back. Ian's got your first slur forecast.